Did someone say catfight? Asuna vs Alice begins. Drop the Kirito and no one gets hurt, Alice. So what's up guys, Foxen here. SAO Alicization, War of the Underworld episode 10. The fight for the Kirito meat begins. If you're awesome, go ahead and hit that like and let's jump into this week's SAO episode. I know, a lot of you have been wondering or straight out joking about Asuna lagging and taking way too long into actually getting into the Underworld. The star of this SAO episode should have addressed that if they had kept it in the anime. Asuna actually logged in an hour after the ocean turtle got attacked. Keep in mind the Underworld is going at 1000 times the speed. Gabriel and friends logging in only a few minutes earlier would have given them days of time. The star of this episode did however cover a popular Asuna question from last time. How in the world did Asuna know her power set right away? Oh yes, Asuna read the freaking manual, or got info from Higa in this case. Asuna is logging on with the super account also known as the god Stacy Asuna. What in the world could she do? This god account comes with unlimited land bending, kind of making Asuna the full metal alchemist of land for SAO. But it does come with this heavy nasty restriction. Higa explains this could actually overlord Asuna's floodlight, and to be honest this really is a heavy restriction on its own, cause really it's no fun making earthquakes and having quakes in your head. Speaking of which, Asuna right away got one of those massive headaches. Those are definitely gonna get nastier. The last episode, some of you were claiming that this Asuna is too overpowered. Although, to be honest, Asuna didn't do that much. Her biggest achievement was actually splitting the ground, splitting off those boxer guys. Because really, Asuna really only killed about 30 dark soldiers and then hurt Visago. Keep in mind, just a few episodes ago, Alice has done much worse at this point. That also includes other knights like Bercoli, Fanatiel, even freaking Renly. Perhaps Asuna could be overpowered, but so far Asuna has not displayed anything too special just yet. By the way, minor nitpick, Asuna's hair, is this too long for anyone else? I guess they're following the popular anime rules with hair power level. Anyway, that mention of Kirito senpai. I really love the touch of Asuna tearing up here. It almost got me feeling it too before their meeting. Then, for that lovely moment, Potato Kirito finally responding to someone, his beloved Asuna. So close, yet so far for Kirito and Asuna. This scene definitely got me feeling it. By the way, did you notice? Kirito reaching out, doing that awkward hover hug. At first, it might look like a minor detail, but this is actually huge. Recall back to SAO Season 1, you had Kirito revealing his demons to Asuna. Kirito at the time also displayed something similar. This now makes me more curious as to how the anime will adapt Kirito's inner conflict later on. That should be some Subaru level heart-wrenching stuff. Will they actually be able to deliver? I wonder. Speaking of which, a ton of Asuna's inner thoughts axed out here. I really wish the anime would at least quickly hint at some of this stuff. She thought about how this must have been how Kirito felt when he saw her laying in the bed back in SAO Season 1. Now this was Asuna's turn to save him. She would do whatever it takes and pay whatever price to bring Kirito back. Asuna here partially hoped that her reuniting with Kirito would by some miracle completely heal him. But no, this is not that type of anime. Asuna was aware about the damage to his floodlight. Asuna decided that she would be the one to fill that current void in Kirito's heart. She refused to believe that hole could be filled by her and others' love for him. Gotta say Kirito, no matter what it takes. Anyway, getting into it, Alice versus Asuna. Oh, the super overprotective Alice. I was hyped to see the super short square off. But perhaps I think my expectations were a little too grand. Overall, it just seemed okay. It was fine. Nothing really too special here. The best part was honestly Bercoli stopping them both. The second best part? From Asuna, Kirito belongs to me, bitch. So definitely chime down below. How much did you enjoy this brief catfight? A key takeaway from this whole thing was that this showed Asuna the Flash back in full form. She was easily able to keep up with this enraged blonde knight. Also keep in mind, Goddess Asuna does have this radiant light weapon, higher priority level than even Alice's blade. You gotta also love Bercoli here. Nice little detail of him having an eye closed as he shared his thoughts with Alice. Hey girls, fetch me some liquor for me, will ya? Uncle's got a drink after all that war stuff. As for round 2 of Alice versus Asuna here, I was really hoping they would tone this down or make it more bearable for the Alice anime version. Cause honestly for me at this point, it was really a turning point for Alice in the light novel, and not in a good way. She had such an amazing build-up, but now they turned her into the straight out green-eyed woman. And let me just be completely fair to Alice, story-wise it does make sense. But really at this point of SAO, are we really doing this now? Anyway, getting into Asuna's explanation to Alice, Bercoli, and the other human buddies. That also included Lina Senpai and Yujiro Senpai too. Huge reveal to all of them. What's going on outside, and the Underworld being this massive paradise experiment. Any questions? Broccoli here was like, I'm gonna need some booze to take all of this in. That being whiskey, by the way, the guy has great taste. But seriously, Broccoli here deserves massive credit for taking control of the conversation. You know, with everyone freaking out that they're not in, but part of the Matrix. Oh, no biggie, dark territory, outside God realm, same difference. Then for Asuna's main objective here, time to capture Alice, time to throw the Master Ball, then ditch this Underworld place. Naturally, Alice wouldn't be too happy hearing that, especially not going along with this unknown woman. There is something to notice in this episode for Alice that really stood out. You've seen so much progress from Alice since her appearance as a knight, but for this episode, Alice, through her actions and this knight manner of speaking, really felt like Alice went back in time when Kirito first met her. Thankfully, this was only brief. Anyway, doubling down on why Alice is so important, which I have seen this confusion from some of you. At the end of the day, Alice is someone that has broken the seal of her own accord. A key piece of info here is getting back to those numbers on the actual seal, Alice recalling the code 871. They even reference Quinella getting some sort of outside wrath help. Ooh, the mystery. There is a somewhat weird meaning behind the actual numbers. You really have to love Asuna's little detective reasoning here. It definitely helped that they actually left her character dots in the anime. Asuna realized a massive contradiction in all of this. The whole point of this for Wrath is trying to achieve a full true AI. On the other hand, this taboo index works completely against that notion. Someone within Wrath has been purposely trying to sabotage this whole Underworld project. Or at the very least, the mole has been trying to delay Project Alicization until they're ready to steal it. I'll just confirm to you that you have seen this mystery mole within Wrath. Then, that new anime scene, very nice touch here between Kirito and Asuna. It reminds me of when Tisei was able to hear something from the Blue Rose Sword. Asuna, via her connection to Kirito, also heard him briefly. Then, Broccoli here brought up an excellent point. The real only difference between a human and Underworld people is that seal on their eye. On the flip side, Alice right now has no restriction. By all accounts, Alice is no different than a human, just minus a physical body. So why exactly do they need Alice? And of course, sorry Alice and friends, I cannot tell you. I do like how Asuna here deferred this to Alice. Ultimately, Asuna wants Alice to make up her mind on her own when she sees their reality. Will the world's first true AI think our world is worth keeping? Or just turn into Skynet? Or was that Genesis now? Anyway, priorities from Alice. First off, we have to defeat this so-called god Vector, then deal with the real world shenanigans. Notice right here, Asuna brought up some more restrictions for her god Stacy account. Recall that massive ground alchemy? Maybe one or two more times. Man, these annoying restrictions. By the way, Sheta mentioned she would like to smash that Iskan guy again. I definitely can't wait to see her in action in round 2. There was some minor stuff cut out here when Asuna looked at Sheta. Asuna thought that her new armor didn't quite fit her right yet. It actually reminded Asuna of what an MMO newbie would do. Anyway, next up, Goddess Asuna Pajama Mode. Oh, trust me, that's totally gonna get a figure announced later, which this sucker will buy. Then, getting into the actual boob measuring contest that Alice conjured up. Oh, you gotta tell me every single detail about Kirito. How long, how thick? Of course, I'm talking about his blade. Oh, you lived with him for 2 weeks. Guess what? I lived with this cold potato body for half a year. And kept it warm too. Care to find out how? But goddammit, you really do have thirsty girl one after another coming out from everywhere. This included Roni and Lina too. Honestly, if Kirito wasn't already in this committed relationship with Asuna, you'd easily be able to mistake this for a harem anime scene. Which unfortunately, I think that's how most people will shorthand this too, even if only jokingly. Oh, the harem is coming out. I could hear it now. Anyway, time to chat about Kirito all night long. Pretty much this slumber party plus one potato boy nearby. I was super glad to see that Kirito was actually left in the bed to sleep this off. Overall for this SAO episode, for better or for worse, this SAO episode actually fixed a lot of the issues I had when reading this section of the SAO Light Novel 16. Ironically, some of the fix here was due to a lot of the side detail or inner monologue cut out. I really hated how Alice came across in the SAO Light Novel here. She really came off seeming overly catty, really to the point of obsession for this piece of Kirito man meat. It almost ruined the Alice character for me. Now for the SAO anime, Alice comes off far better. She's much less possessive over Kirito. Actually hearing her voice, her actual lines, and even the tone of voice, it helps a ton. I feel this could really help shape some of the further fixes that I hope the SAO anime does for the upcoming war stuff. Plus, extremely nice touch with the Kirito and Asuna scene. This clearly was an episode geared towards Asuna. Sorry Alice, but I'm super hyped that Asuna is back to main character status. Next up really quickly, Vasago from the previous episode. As he was falling down that hole, Vasago actually noticed Asuna from the KOB, her previous SAO guild. Yes, is this hinting at Vasago being an SAO survivor? Keep that in mind. Next up, getting into the lineup of changes going into the SAO anime, the highlights. First off, I'll just mention some Dark Territory scenes, combined with scenes going on outside got cut out. I do feel like this is spoiler detail for the next episode, so I'm not going to mention any more here. Next up, Asuna meeting Roni and Tisei. Asuna was actually very moved here. Asuna felt she was witnessing around 300 years of the Underworld history. Wrath, what have you created? Although this may be some little project to all of you guys, but clearly these people are alive. Next up, Asuna talking to Alice about the Taboo Index Code, Asuna's point of view. Cut out from the anime were Asuna's thoughts on Alice. Asuna wondered why she was getting so frustrated when talking to Alice. She could barely recall ever fighting with anyone in the past. I mean, she got along with Liz, Silica, Lifa, Shinon, and pretty much everyone at school so well. But now you have Alice. The only time Asuna could recall fighting with someone so much was actually with Kirito. Asuna then laughed at this realization, just the mystery of those emotions and how it eventually developed into this romantic bonding. Could this mean that Asuna would eventually get along with Alice too, she wondered. Honestly, I wish they kept some of this in. Not really for the Alice stuff, but more for Asuna's view on things. Then on the flip side, Alice's point of view. As Alice was listening to Asuna's voice, she wondered what the hell could be pissing her off so much. I mean, she had a negative impression of Asuna from the get-go, just approaching Kirito without notice, the guy that she cared for half a year. It was clear to Alice that they had some type of personal relationship, so maybe it was fine for Asuna to see him once. Alice had previously believed keeping Kirito safe was her duty, but all of a sudden you had this newcomer. Was that what was pissing her off? Or could it have been Asuna's sword skill? This was the first time that Alice had seen an attack of that speed, more like multiple hits in one go. In speed alone, Fanatia wouldn't stand a chance. If Asuna had deflected Alice's blade, Asuna would have easily struck her no problem. She was pretty shocked at Asuna's sword skill at her age. Or was Asuna's beauty getting to Alice? It is pretty funny how even Alice admitted this to herself. In all, Alice really just wanted to know more about Kirito and Asuna. Next up, a potential fun little Asuna scene cut out. The goddess Asuna was actually given a tent and place to camp out, along with a guard. Asuna quickly gave him the sneak around and bolted the hell out of there. Time to get me a midnight Kirito snack. Asuna really wanted to spend one night with him. By the way, for Asuna fans, the goddess Stacy Asuna figure pre-order is up, and unfortunately is coming out October 2020. My god, is that a long wait. Fortunately today, another goddess Asuna figure got announced. I'm hoping this one comes out sooner, but who am I kidding? I'm likely gonna get both. Speaking of which, goddess Shinon and goddess Lifa also have figures announced coming up. Correction from last video too, for Shinon she's gonna be the goddess Solus. But anyway, more important, post your thoughts on this SAO episode down below. How much did you enjoy the quick back and forth between Asuna and Alice? Are you ready for the mid-season finale? 2 episodes left. Definitely subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss my juicy anime videos. My top upcoming anime video is coming up, and I'll see you guys later.